Episode 62 with a phenomenally talented songwriter from Tyler, Texas. Zach Maberry is coming your way right now.
It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. Until we all lose connection.
Hey guys, this is Clint Offord. Thank you guys so much for watching the Boston Chris Show.
Hey guys, Boston Chris here with the Boston Chris podcast, and man, I am pretty damn excited about who I have on the show today. Is one of my favorite songwriters. I know I say that a lot, but man, Zach Maberry is just an unheralded dude from my own backyard. He's living in Tyler now, originally from Lufkin, if I'm correct. And man, just a fabulous songwriter. Excited to have him here today. I've been a fan of his for at least a year or so that I know of. So just having him here, I'm fangirling a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, Zach. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, great to be here, dude.
So we just
Excited
met
about it.
Zach a couple weekends ago in Pittsburgh. Was my first experience watching a Zach Maberry show, and of course, you did not disappoint. Just a great show. But I'm excited to pick your brain on where you're from and what makes you you. But before we get into that, we are going to share a couple of songs that you have performed and written and performed that we got from that show in Pittsburgh. And the first one is by far my favorite song. It's called Wolves. Tell us a little bit about this song, Zach.
Um, I can't remember the exact year when I wrote that. I know it's been multiple years back, but it really was kind of dealing with. I think I was kind of going in a spot where, with music, there was part of me that was kind of worried about putting it out there. If I was good enough to do music and do live shows and write songs, and if people would like it. And so I think in my mind there was just that thinking going on, and so that's really what it was dealing with. But after I wrote it, it just made me think about how other people might have the same issues with whatever they do, and if they have a desire to do some type of creative work or whatever it may be. I feel like sometimes there's that voice inside of us that um, tells us that we're not good enough, or things aren't going to work out, and so it tries to keep you from doing kind of what you're put on earth to do.
Yeah.
Like we all have talents, we all have gifts, and I think we're supposed to share those things. And I think I think you just have to try your best to get past that voice of uh, something that's trying to keep you from doing that. And so that's really like the overall idea behind that song. And hopefully it helps. It helped me writing it, and I think hopefully it helps other people listen to it too, as well.
Is this song a constant reminder for you too? Because you're a performing artist as well, so you're performing this song a lot. So is it a
Yeah,
reminder to try to hold those voices at bay? Do you think?
I think so. I mean, I think that any type of as like creative people, um, I think it's always like you kind of have that voice inside of you that can still be there. I think the more that you do it, the more you get out there and put yourself out there. After time, I think it gets better. Especially, it helps having people encourage you, and I think we all need that, no matter where we're at in our careers.
Yeah,
We need people
validation. Yeah,
to
really important.
support us, and I think we need to support other people. So I know I try my best to any um, any other musicians. That's just one of the things I like the most, is being able to is to be able to encourage people and look for ways help their careers as they go. Because I know, like when I first started, it helped out having. There's a guy named Ryan Davis. Do you know him?
I
Ryan
love
Paul
Ryan
Davis.
Davis. Yes, absolutely.
Before I was doing any live music, he just showed me like everything that he was doing
Mm.
and his whole thing of just playing live, and it really
And I hear
just
a
made
lot
me
of
think.
you and him, and vice versa. Actually,
Dude,
yeah.
yeah.
Now that I think
But
about it,
but
yeah.
it made me think, oh, I could do this too, you know, and I think that's what we should do for people. I mean, we're kind of all in the same boat together, you know,
Mm, yeah.
and so we just need to be able to encourage one another and kind of show people the path in a
Well, the
way, you know.
messages couldn't be clearer, man. And I know that for uber creative people, that inner voice can be so destructive, right? Like it can be
Yeah,
so debilitating in not pursuing what makes you yourself happy. And
yeah,
it's like even like we talked a little bit off air about streaming. Like I used to stream video games, and that inner voice would
mhm,
always tell me, "You don't want to go live tonight. Nobody's gonna watch you. You're not good enough. Just stay
yeah,
in bed. And so like that mentality of just hitting the live button to go live, that inner voice would stop me from doing that at times. And
yeah.
obviously, I'm not a songwriter, but it's just a small microcosm of that
Same
same
thing.
inner voice that beats us up, man. We're always our worst critics, right? And I hate
Yeah.
that, and I love that you're able to overcome that. And I'm excited to show you guys an acoustic version of my favorite Zach Maberry song, guys. This is Wolves from Steve O's in Pittsburgh, Texas. Y'all check it out.
Like an old car in a junkyard. I've been there collecting dust. See pretend with a rundown drive picture show. I feel like I could run. I've been moving like a machine on a steady 9 to 5, where the poor man's dream dying in the same routine. I'm trying to survive there. Who's outside the window? There. Who's outside the door? There. Who's outside waiting to eat me alive? And I'm nailed down to the floor. Still I long for something more. I long for something more. And the wolves outside waiting to eat me alive. And I'm nailed down to the floor.
All right, so we are back once again. It is episode number 62, I think. Holy crap, with Zach Maberry from the Lufkin, Texas area. So a little bit of an icebreaker question. What are your favorite drinks right now, Zach?
Drinks, probably Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
I have been drinking way too much Dr. Pepper.
I feel you.
If there's not Dr. Pepper, then it's Mr. Pibb
Mhm.
as like the secondary.
Are you the guy that tries
yeah.
every new limited edition thing that comes out?
I guess maybe. I mean, if it kind of catches my eye, usually I'll go to. Do you go to Sonic
Sure. Yeah.
at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's just I go to Sonic and get a Dr. Pepper, a vanilla Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
It's kind of my go-to.
Yeah. See, Dr. Pepper is
So,
just over it when it comes to the limited edition stuff. Like I just went to Walmart last night. There was a cherry version, a blackberry version, a vanilla version, a strawberries and cream version. And I'm just like, I can't commit to any of that because if I like them, they're gonna go away. You know, they're just limited edition.
I'd probably do the vanilla, but like I know they come out with a lot, but I don't have to try all the different ones like that. I'm pretty satisfied with just a vanilla Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, my son has to try everything, and I'm just like, you clearly don't have commitment issues, because like I would be so happy to find something new, and then it's just gone, and I'd be miserable. Man, I want to talk about the part of the country that you're from because it is such a hotbed for original artists, in my opinion. Not just the overall East Texas area, you know, from all of 903 and 936, but like being from Lufkin, there's so much songwriting talent from that part of the world. You know, you got Don Rollins and D. Vincent Williams and yourself, and there's Chris Edwards and Country Willie Edwards, and there's so many people.
He's from Nacogdoches, I think, or well, somewhere around Nacogdoches.
And then you mentioned Ryan Paul Davis. He's from that area as well. Chris Edwards, Tommy Simpson. I mean, I can go on and on and on. There's just so many artists from that area, man. What was it like for you growing up in that area?
Well, I guess with music, I feel like growing up, like I feel like I was just. I feel like so I moved to Tyler. We live in Tyler now.
Yeah.
When I lived in Lufkin, I did well. I started out in Lufkin, started playing, and I don't think I really had a lot of community until I got to Tyler. And I think there might have been community there in Lufkin, but I don't think I was really in the part of my songwriting career where I was wanting to be able to get out and kind of showcase my songs and get to know other people. So I think there might have been people in Lufkin, but I don't think I was just ready to get out and kind of engage and find other people to write with and play with. But now being in Tyler, I mean, there is a lot of people. I think in any town, there's a lot of people that do it. I think you just have to go and find them.
It's just finding them can be difficult. Would you call yourself an introvert?
In some ways, I know. I mean, I think getting on stage takes a lot of getting used to for most anybody. You know, some people are kind of just born with that, but like, it's taken that. That's probably one of the hardest things for me is just getting on stage and actually performing. The writing of songs and singing is the easy part, but I guess the harder part is really just is getting out there to perform and do a whole show.
Yeah,
is where it gets a little bit more difficult. Yeah,
and then of course you're indie as well, so you're doing all your marketing and all your booking and all your you're promoting. All of that falls on you as well. So like. I mean, your success depends fully on you. It's not like you have this huge team, right? So let's get back to kind of growing up in Lufkin and stuff. What are some of the lessons that you learned growing up from your folks that you still kind of apply to today?
Well, my dad is the first person that taught me guitar. And so he had, I don't know if you can see, There's like an old
Oh yeah.
Martin guitar right there,
I see it.
and so that's the guitar I learned on, and that was my grandfather's guitar, and the first chords I learned were on that guitar, and so my dad he taught me, and he's still playing today. Like he's really actually getting back into it, but again, going back to just encouraging somebody. I mean, it all starts with somebody else for the most part. I mean, like I don't think that was even my interest until he brought me that guitar and started teaching me chords.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't think I'd be doing what I'm doing today without my dad just sitting me down and say, "Hey, let me teach you how to play a G chord and C chord." And it really started all from him, really. So I can't thank him enough for doing that.
And what are, as a youngster, what like influences are getting into your ears musically from like a genre standpoint?
When I was really young, my dad he was really listening to what my parents listened to, and so my dad he was born in 1946, and so he grew up with a lot of what we call the oldies, and so I don't know if they're still called the oldies now or something else,
So,
but maybe they
just
call
so
it.
we're clear, the oldies are now all the way into the '90s now,
They
Zach.
might
Just
be, yeah. I was thinking like the oldies back then are called like the ancients now. I don't know.
yeah, I think.
But it was people like I mean like Elvis Presley and I had a whole tape of like the 1950s to 60s, like a cassette tape that I would listen to. And so that's probably what I started on, and then he listened to a lot of uh Merle Haggard and like older classic country type artists. And so I listened to that growing up, and so that's what I started on, and then into high school I got into more like punk rock type stuff because I guess I kind of wanted to
Yeah, so I heard
do
you
my
were
own thing.
emo. That's what I heard. I heard you were.
Yeah, so I did punk rock and emo. I had an emo stage of life, which was like a lot of bands like let me think who I listened to. Dashboard Confessional. Did you ever listen to them?
Yeah, I one of their
Yeah.
guitarists was I've talked to. Used to be friends with. Yeah.
Oh,
In
really?
fact,
Yeah.
it's on that guitar right over there. I have hanging up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that I don't know if emo is still a thing or not, but I was really
If it is,
into it
it's
because
not out there like it used to be, right? Like it's probably more closeted now.
maybe so. Yeah, like I never did like the whole like the dark eyeliner and makeup stuff. Like that wasn't my thing, but like I I enjoyed like just like that type of music. And so then after that, I guess is when I started getting into like actual songwriting. Uh, and I think I think about it, like I was in punk rock bands. It was more like pop punk type stuff.
Mhm.
And so I did bands like that, and that's probably when I first started writing songs. Uh, and then I really started getting into just songwriting for myself. Probably when I started listening to a guy named Ryan Adams. Have you listened to Ryan
Yep.
Adams
Yep.
before?
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of his older stuff I was really into. His first album was called Heartbreaker, and then he had like older another band called Whiskey Town that he was in. And so
Yeah. So we're talking early 2000s here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But everything he put out, I would just love eat up all of every song that he would put out. It didn't matter what it was.
Hmm.
And so I loved his songwriting. And that's probably what gave me the kind of the itch to really do it as much as I could, and where I really fell in love with just the craft of songwriting. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the evolution so far. One thing I'm not hearing you talk about though is Texas influences, and I know they have to be there because I listen to all your music a lot, and there's a lot
Yeah.
of that Texas vibe within your music. So when did that start for you, and who or what was it that kind of permeated into your sphere when it comes to a Texas music standpoint?
Yeah. So I think started getting to the singer songwriter, so like solo type performer was Ryan Adams, and then it got into probably listening to like Pat Green
Mm-hmm.
and Corey Morrow is when I kind of went into my Texas music phase, and then after listening to them is when I started learning about Towns Van Zandt and Guy Clark,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what really opened up a whole new door of like just like a depth of songs as far as like just the writing. I mean, Towns was a lot more just almost like straight poetry, and then putting music behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Guy, he was more uh, a lot of story type songs, and I feel like now like I've really, especially newer stuff I've been writing has really been heavily story based type songs
Yeah.
compared to earlier stuff.
That
Yeah.
Americana folk feel, like, which, man, you can't get further from pop punk emo than Americana
I
folk.
know.
I don't think, right? But
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I love that you're picking up these vibes as you go, and they're to me as a fan of yours, they're very present in your sound, all of them, right? Like you can, in different songs, you can kind of feel the different things that you've liked or loved over the course of your upbringing and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Just hearing you talk about story in song and knowing, the stuff that you've written, the stuff that I've heard. I imagine that's really important to you. And thankfully, you're in Texas because that really does well here in Texas. Um, uh, let's talk a little bit about your history with Sean McConnell as well, because this is another
Yeah.
guy who has the same kind of vibes that you have with the Texas music, the storytelling. How did you guys kind of hook up?
So I had found him it must have been 2011 or
Wow.
so. Whenever he had an album come out called Saints, Thieves, and Liars.
Hmm.
If you ever heard that album
Of
before,
course, yeah.
which is
Just
which
so
is
you know, I'm a huge Sean McConnell fan, which is I think a major reason why I love your music so much.
yeah, yeah. He's good, man, and that album was just every song. There's certain albums you listen to where like you can skip certain songs, but that's one of those where like you can listen to it from the front to the end,
Yep.
and every song is good. And so that's I had found him. I'm trying to think how I found him. It might have been through like I think Wade Bowen did a one of his songs. It might have been Somewhere Beautiful. I think maybe he did a cover of that song. And so I know for a while there Wade would always on stage talk about Sean McConnell. I think they might have written some more stuff. But I found him then, and I remember around that time I had like a group of songs that I was wanting to record, and so I really respected Sean and his skill and writing, and so I had found his email on his website and sent him an email just asking if he would recommend anybody who would uh, would want to produce for me.
Mhm.
And he had sent me an email back that he really loved all the songs and really wanted to do it himself. And so I was all for that because
Of
I couldn't really
course, yeah.
think of anything better. And I think it's really cool just being able to have a songwriter as your producer because that helped out a bunch on those group of songs that I released back in 2012 because we were able to sit down and kind of see what stuff worked and what stuff needed to change. And but when we recorded it, it was just in his house in Nashville, up in his attic where he used to live. And I think we did it over a weekend and recorded 6 songs and came out with that EP in 2012.
And
But
so
it was a great experience.
that's going to be something, man. I say it all the time on this show, and a lot of folks that have been on the show will talk about it as well. You never know what can happen to you if you just frickin' ask, right? Like just
Oh
ask.
yeah,
what's the worst that could happen, man? Like, to tell you no, or they ghost you or whatever. But man, you ask the question and then you end up with Sean McConnell as your freaking producer. Hello, that's why you ask, right?
I
Just
know.
incredible stuff, man. So like, I'm curious if, obviously him being your producer, you're a fan of his prior to that, obviously.
Yeah.
Are you kind of modeling anything after him? Because like, there's a lot of him in your sound, and not just in the stuff that he produced for you either. So I'm curious, how much of a role on your art he's had, other than just being your producer at one point.
I think as artists, we have certain people we kind of connect to more than others.
Yeah,
I think as songwriters, you have some people that you just your art, it kind of connects to someone else uh, more than another person, and I think that maybe I think our kind of maybe our styles are pretty similar.
yeah,
And so I think that from the beginning, I think that's probably what kind of got his attention, because we do kind of write similar, um, in a similar way. So I think that's kind of what made him want to record it. And I think that, but even like going forward, like any person, any other artist that I enjoy their music, I think it inspires me in different ways. Um,
yeah. The reason why I
the
wanted to
same.
ask you
So
that is the first time I heard Wolves. Just the way algorithms work, especially on YouTube for me, is like, if I'm interested, like, I'll put Sean McConnell on, or a Sean McConnell mix, and this is how I found Wolves. Wolves just came on as part of that mix tape that comes up on YouTube.
oh yeah,
And so I just
yeah.
assumed it was Sean McConnell. Like, it sounded like Sean McConnell. The writing style was very similar. And then it didn't occur to me until the next time I heard the song, which was, I think Stephen Prigmore or somebody like that shared it on
Yeah.
social media, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool that we have a local artist that's covered a Sean McConnell song." Not knowing that all along this is your song, right? But like, I heard it on a Sean McConnell mix, so not knowing that it was a Zach Maberry
Okay.
song that I heard on YouTube, I just assumed that you covered it, and it was actually your song. So
Well,
yeah, that's why.
that's a compliment to
Good.
hear
I'm
then.
glad, because it should be like, I love Sean so much. Like, one of my favorite songs in the history of music is "Shotgun," by
Oh
Sean. I
yes.
love that
Yeah.
song so much, man, and I listened to it entirely too much. But yeah, I wanted you to know the first time I heard Wolves, it was because of a Sean McConnell mix on YouTube, that it just happened to come up on, and it's so cool.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and it's funny. Hold on, let me get this out of the way. Um, you played a song, at the live show that I went to recently, that I had never heard before, and it's my second favorite song now. I want to tell you the name of it. I just want to make sure I get the correct name. It's "I'm Yours, Marie." I love that
Yeah.
song now, and it's not out anywhere, so I'm hoping you'll record that at some point. Um,
Yeah, I need to. That's definitely on my list. I have a list of unreleased songs, and that's one of the top ones that I feel like I need to record.
Yeah, it's definitely right up the line of that storytelling that I love so much, and you're so good at. Man, I want to talk with you about your vocals as well, and I feel like, this is going to be like a broken record to folks that watch the show a lot, but I feel like the vocals is so dang important in the delivery of a song, the delivery of a lyric, delivery of a message, and I'm curious how present in your mind are your vocals when you're in the studio recording? Like, are you really paying attention to the delivery of notes vocally when trying to tell the message behind the story in your song from a studio standpoint?
Hmm. Um, Not really. I mean, it's not like something on my mind of I need to sing it a certain way to make sure it comes across in the way that it should. I think that I just try to get in there and do the best I can, and just sing it like I how I do. And uh I think my vocals have definitely improved over time. And I think I just try to get in there and sing it like myself, and hopefully that it comes across well to other people.
So is that like organically, like just part of your songwriting? Is it just melodic? It just comes naturally the way you're putting your vocals on a song?
I guess so. Yeah, it's kind of a tough question. I don't know. Like it's kind of like you just. I mean, I remember hearing something about Ray LaMontagne was asked to like, does he warm up or anything before he sings? And like
Yeah,
he's like, no, I just go out there and I do it.
yeah.
I think it's really. I guess I do the same thing. I don't say I'm anywhere close to what how he is, but uh, I think you try to just sing as best you can, and I think over time, I think some people are already developed early on in their unique sound. I think we all, when we start out as songwriters, we all, for the most part, we sound like who we listen to,
Mhm.
you know, and then over time, I think we start to kind of develop our own unique artist sound if we continue to do it. And so I think that's, I guess, maybe what you hear when I record something and
Yeah, it's
play it.
just
I think
it's a
you're kind of
curious
hearing.
thing for me because I feel like vocals is just so forgotten as a musical instrument, right? Like I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize how important those vocals are in making you feel something. And
Hmm.
like the biggest word I hear from songwriters always is like their entire world rests on that word feel. Like they want to make people feel something. And your
Hmm.
vocals make that happen for people, at least, personally speaking. So it's always cool to hear, like, did you mean that? Or did you not mean it? Is it organic? Is it just coming? And so, yeah, it's probably a hard question, but I love to hear answers from that standpoint. But yeah, your vocals
Yeah.
are just so freaking smooth to me, and so important to your delivery. I feel as an artist, and I love that so much. Let's talk about
Thank
your
you.
songwriting process because it's different for everybody, right? So, like, are you picking up on life experiences as you just live your normal life? Are you hearing lyrics first? Does the hook come to you first? Is it melodic? Is it all of these things? Like, how does it work for you?
I think it's mostly, ever since I started writing songs, I've always started with the guitar. I have to have, it's usually always with the guitar. And then I'll start singing some type of nonsense words while playing acoustic.
Okay.
And then something just comes out. It might be like a little phrase, or it might just be like a melody. I feel like I've always been better at melodies than I am at writing. And so I think for me, it's always kind of melody first, and then the story or the song comes later on. So I think
Yeah.
it's kind of the process I've had for years and years has been exactly that way. Like I know like some people write lyrics first, but I just can't really do that. Like I feel like I have to have the melody and base it off that, and then put the words to the melody.
Do you ever see or
Really.
hear ideas lyrically that you save for later for when that happens? When the melodic structure starts to take shape?
Like a song title or something
Yeah,
like
just
that.
stuff that you might hear
Yeah.
on TV or in passing conversation, and just, man, that would be a great idea. I'm going to save that one.
Yeah, I think so. Every once in a while, uh, that'll happen, but usually it's for the majority, it's going back to just coming up with some type of like I'll record and listen to myself back, and then I'll just hear one little thing. It could be a word, or it could be a phrase, or just like even like a vocal thing that doesn't make sense. As long
Yeah,
as it sounds good, then I'll take that and then just build
that's
off of that.
interesting. I love that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about like the emotion behind songwriting, right? Because like one thing I noticed about your live show is you're very present on trying to make sure there's a balance from a live standpoint of ballad versus upbeat, up tempo, making sure you're not too
Mhm.
sad all the
Yes.
time. adding some joy here, some grit here, some swampiness here. Like you're really strategic about that from a live standpoint. So from a writing standpoint, is that something you're also kind of present about? Like you're trying to make sure that you're not just playing or writing sad songs and you're trying to put up tempo stuff in as well?
Definitely in a live set, like I do think about that. Like I try to make it to where it's not all sad songs because I don't want people to
To
leave,
leave. Yeah.
unless they just really love a bunch of sad songs. But I think as for writing, like I enjoy both. I mean, I enjoy writing a sad song, and I enjoy writing more of like an up tempo song. And so, it's never like today I'm going to write a up tempo song. It's kind of just waiting for whatever to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
So if I start playing something that's more upbeat, uh, than something, I mean, it's usually going to a song is going to be upbeat
So you're just
if
letting the
I'm
song
playing
lead
like
the
this.
way, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that is that a thing? I feel like I've heard that
Absolutely.
someplace
So yeah,
else.
I hear it all the time. The song rules the room is what they always say. We go where the song goes.
Yeah,
There's a million different ways I've heard it said. But yeah, it's essentially the song is the king, and you follow the king wherever it goes.
yeah,
And that's where the songs come from. And no matter how people get to that point, which is always different for you, it's more, melodic and musical in structure, and then the words just fit in after. For other people, it's very title based. I would say most of the songwriters I've chatted with, they come up with a title first, or they hear a title, or they hear something
yeah,
funny or funky or hooky, and then they create the song around it. I would say that's probably the most common way.
yeah. I think
Um,
I've heard the. Have you? Do you listen to Travis Meadows?
of course, yeah,
Have you
Travis is
heard of him?
amazing. Yeah,
I think he's a title guy.
yeah,
I think he just has a bunch of titles and then he goes off of that.
yeah.
I feel like I'd like to get better at doing that because I think it's pretty cool that you
Do
can just
you
take a
do you
title off the
co-write with
song.
people?
Every once in a while, I have a buddy of mine named Kyle Sincooley that I've written a lot with, and I have another friend named David Percy that I met recently, and we have written a little bit. So every once in a while, majority it's just by myself, but um, I do enjoy co-writing because you have two different kind of brains, that are working together to
Mm-hmm.
to to build something that might not have been, and on your own, it could have been something totally different. But I think it helps out a lot, especially when you're stuck. When you're stuck on something and you just can't. Sometimes it happens in songwriting that you can't get past a certain point, and so that then it always helps to have a different point of view from somebody else to come in and
Yep.
help you out. So
Not only
yeah,
that, but it's always good to kind of identify your own self weaknesses and your self strengths, and
yeah,
then seek out somebody who's the opposite of that, right? So like if you feel like you're not very good lyrically, then you find somebody who's very good lyrically, and then you're good melodically, maybe they're not, and it just fits like a glove. I hear that a
yeah.
lot too, right? So that's cool stuff. Um, so what's it like for you from a studio standpoint? Like, are you very vocal in that, or you just kind of let the producer um, do what he or she wants to do? Like, how hands on are you in the studio when it comes to your songs?
I would say not too much. I feel like that's not really my strong suit as far as like studio, like
Hmm.
knowing how to where all the buttons do and all of that stuff. So I kind of let somebody else just handle all that.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like
And what
they would do
about
a
the
better.
instrumentation? Like, are you hearing certain instruments somewhere, or you just let the producer figure that out?
I think I can do that. Like as far as songs go, there's usually something in my head that I'm thinking of for different things. And so if I go to the studio, I'll just have those written down going in.
Hmm.
But again, like I mean, the producers I've worked with, which is two right now, Sean and a guy named Brendan in Nashville, and Sean and Brendan, they both have their own. It's kind of like co-writing. I mean, they have their own ideas and stuff that you wouldn't come up with on your own.
Right.
And so I think that's one of the things I like the best about going to the studio and working with a producer is just having that other person there to generate more ideas than you could by yourself, you know. So
Yeah, and I feel like that's. I mean, as long as you like, you don't have like this huge ego. I think that's definitely the best way of doing it anyway, right? Like, the more
yeah,
the more creative brains you have on the product, the better. I feel. Even if it's like just enough for like battering back and forth, right? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then kind of
yeah,
validating what your ideas are, or the opposite of that, like just kind of destroying them. Like, and all of that can be important. I feel, for real. Like,
yeah,
just being able to have that trust in another person whose job it is to produce the song, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
Yeah, I'm definitely not good as far as like the whole recording stuff goes. I try to focus on my strong suit, which is just writing the songs and then taking them to somebody else who's in the studio a lot more than me
yeah,
and
exactly.
just here, like this is what I got
Yeah.
and I have a couple ideas, but you just kind of run with it. And
Right. So you're that guy.
that's
Just
pretty
you just kind of give him a couple of notes. This is what I'm hearing, and you're the
yeah,
artist,
yeah,
and then you're kind of hands off from that point.
yes, yeah.
I think that's a good way to go too. But like, if you're in the process of like recording the songs, and there's something there that you just don't like, are you like, no, I don't think that works for me? Like, how vocal are you
Oh
in
yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that with anything, like, I mean, if you're paying somebody to do a job, I mean, like I also do like graphic design and logo stuff.
Yeah.
And so I want my client to be happy with what they're getting, and
Hmm.
like I usually same way, like I take ideas from somebody, like if it's their business and they want a logo, then I'll take their ideas and come up with I have my own style and on things I've learned along the way. So I'll put that into it. But in the end, like I want them to be happy with whatever has
Right.
been created. So I think it's the same way in the studio. Like you're going in and you're paying somebody to help you out create something. But in the end, like it's your name on the record, and so you want it to be uh, reflect who you are. You want it to be good, and so I think you just want to be happy with the end product of it. So yeah, I try to be. If there's something I don't like, I'll definitely voice my
Good stuff.
opinion about
Good
it.
stuff. I hear that a lot. Like, you have to have your like growth in your own sound and your own art to be able to speak up. I feel like there's being in the studio can be very daunting for people, especially when you're self proclaimed better at writing. Like, I just want to write the songs and all of that. So like going into the studio being the next step, that's where the real work starts. I feel like with songs, and sometimes the song doesn't come out the way the songwriter wants because they're afraid to speak up. And I'm glad that's
Yeah,
not happening.
well, I think
Um,
you gotta think about you're gonna have this live on for a long time,
yeah, yeah.
hopefully, and so you want it to be something you enjoy and something you like and something that you feel is worthy to share to other people.
Is it important
And
to you
so
also that the songs are able to be kind of recreated in a live sense and not be that far different from the studio version of the song? I mean, is that a thought too for you as a songwriter going in?
maybe a little bit. I haven't really done a lot of full band type stuff. I mean, that's
Right.
kind of one of my goals is to start doing that more. Uh, but I don't think I guess with my music that I don't have to worry about that too much as far as like the instrumentation. Because I mean, all of my stuff is like in the studio, it's drums, electric guitar, uh, keys, and
Yeah.
acoustic and harmonica, and that's really about it. And so that's pretty easy to put together in a band setting if need be.
I'm excited to see the transition to full band. I think that would be badass.
Yeah,
from
I'll
you.
let you know when that happens, man. So you can
Yeah.
get a front row
Yeah,
seat.
please, please, please. I'd be very interested in that. Um, I know that you're more or less full time music. You did mention you got Pine Top Media as well, which is your
Mhm.
graphic stuff. But more or less, you are a full time musician. Talk a little bit about the fear of being a full time musician. There's a lot of trepidation there, like relying on your art all the time. And this is not like a 9 to 5 job, so it's going to be pretty scary, right?
Yeah, and I think I was doing it full time at one time, and that's really one of the main things why I started doing my other business. Been able to do because I've done graphic design for I don't know 15 plus years,
Okay.
and so I didn't want to. I was at the point where I was with when I was doing full time music, I would just have to take everything I could, and I got kind of burnt out doing that. And
Yeah.
so I started the other business, Pine Top Media, to where I didn't have to worry about that. I didn't have to I had to take every single Mexican restaurant there is, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
You're
like,
able to say no
um,
more often, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And it really helped me out to where I wanted to get out and play again because I was getting burnt out, and now I've been able to play more shows where people come and they're there to listen to the songs. And so and I was talking to somebody else about this other day. It might have been my friend David David Percy. I was talking to him about how just doing shows like that when you go out and people are there to listen and really get to hear the stories behind your songs and really get to take in the art of it. And then they get to respond to you like after the show. Like
yeah.
that's what really makes you want to continue doing music.
Those are the
And that
rooms
and
that I
it's
like to be in the most, man. Big time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really what it's all about is getting to share it and people to take it in and have a response. And it really makes me want to continue doing it more is doing shows like that.
Great stuff, man. So, last question I have before the commercial that I'm gonna play here in a minute is about songwriter showcases and competitions that you've been a part of, like LJT, and there's others as well. Talk
Mhm.
about a little bit about not just the experience of being in those types of places and stages, but also, we talked about imposter syndrome earlier. It's going to be tough in that environment, hearing so many other incredible songwriters around you. Imagine your inner voice is not real kind to you in those kind of situations.
Oh yeah, it's really hard. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was thinking. Okay, so I did the LJT, and we watch American Idol too. And I was thinking, man, I had a hard enough time doing the LJT thing. I don't know how these people do
Hmm.
American Idol. Um, but it is tough, especially with that competition aspect, which it's kind of hard. On that one, they make it to where it's not supposed to be a competition, but it definitely. I mean, you're up there trying to have the best songs,
Yeah.
really, and so it kind of comes out that way. Uh, and there's such amazing other songwriters, and so again, I think you just have to just get up and just do you. I mean, do the best you can and sing the best song, and I mean, sing the best version of your song that you've written as best you can, and that's really all you can do is
Is
just
there
get
is
that.
there a second inner voice within you, Zach, that's trying to convince you that you do belong in those situations?
Um, I mean, I feel like I have a gift, and I feel like I can do the gift well, and I feel like I have a artistry. And so there is that part of me that knows like, okay, this is something I'm supposed to do.
Hmm.
And so that does give me confidence in in putting music out there. So there is that there. But sometimes I mean like that it can take a while for that to have that in your life. I mean you gotta just continue doing whatever it is that that you enjoy, and eventually you can have confidence in that, especially when you have people that tell you, man, this song meant a lot to me, or like the way you sung that, I just love that. So that helps along the way, especially for artists.
So y'all take note out there. Be more encouraging to songwriters and artists, right? You're not feeding their ego. Sometimes you're just letting them know that they are making a mark on somebody, and that's not an ego thing. That's usually the words that keep that imposter voice at bay, and it's so important. I'm so excited to have Zach Maberry here on the show for the first time. Episode 62. We're going to take a brief break from my friend. Here's a commercial from my friend Pappy Middleton down there in Palmer, Texas at Palmyra Studios. Y'all check it out.
I'm putting it together right now, and I'd love to get it out that any student, I don't care how old you are or what, if your heart lies within this kind of domain of the sound, playing, any of that, I'm gonna start taking one day out of every couple of weeks and invite students in for a very small charge, and I will tell you whatever you want. Any question you got, I'll try to answer it.
Well, I will certainly put that out there. I'll make this a little ad for you, and we can share it.
Because they'll have full access to the studio, everything. I can tell them everything about how all of this started from analog into the digital world, and you'll be able to have hands-on. And I'll show you why analog sounds better than digital.
Amazing. Yeah, I'll definitely cut this out. I'll make a little ad out of it, and we can share it everywhere.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Because I'd love to do it. That's my legacy, is to leave with.
It's pass it down, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all right. So we are back again, episode 62, with Zach Maberry, and Zach is gonna share a second song with us. This one is called "Pass Me By." Tell me a little bit about this song.
Yeah, this was no really in-depth meaning to this one at all. It's kind of one of those songs where you fall in love with somebody and they really don't feel the same way about you. And so then you move on, and then like at that moment is when they start acting more interested in you, you know. And so at that point you're like, okay, you can just go ahead and pass me by, just go on. Right?
Yep.
That's really all there is to that song.
Good stuff, man. Y'all check it out. It is live and acoustic from Zach Maberry, recently from Steve O's 1981 Bar and Grill in Pittsburgh, Texas. You're welcome for the shout out, by the way, Steve O. Y'all check it out. Here is Zach Maberry with Pass Me By.
door now, honey, say, how are you? Pass me by, roll on through. Don't come knocking at my door now, honey, say, how are you? Only get me thinking of the tears I had to cry. I would hang around, pass me by, pass me by, pass me by, pass me by.
All right, so we are back, and I got to tell you, Zach, we have these fun segments at the end of the show, and we always timestamp this stuff on Spotify and YouTube. And a lot of people are just going to the having fun segment. So this is we're probably going to bring on a whole lot of other new viewers with these segments. But it's essentially 6 or 7 segments that are pretty short in nature, and they're very self-reflective. They're going to tell us who Zach Maberry is, I think. The first one is called Mount Rushmore. And as you may know, Mount Rushmore has 4 people on it, the real Mount Rushmore. So this segment is, who do you think is on your Mount Rushmore of songwriters? 4 only. You cannot have 5.
Okay. Well, and as we talked about before, there is Ryan Adams. There is Towns Van Zandt, Guy Clark, and probably Daryl Scott. You ever listen to Daryl Scott?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or Daryl Scott? He had an album called Theater of the Unheard, which I listened to a ton back in the day. But he's an amazing songwriter, and so those are probably my 4.
Yeah,
Mount Rushmore.
I have not heard his name on the show before, but yeah, he's a great songwriter as well. Good stuff. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna have to look into him a little bit more. I remember him vaguely.
Yeah, he wrote "Long Time Gone." You remember Dixie?
Okay,
Dixie Chicks
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, he's written some songs for Garth Brooks. Okay.
And "You'll Never Leave Harlan Alive." Have you ever heard that song?
Yep, I have heard that one. Yeah. Good stuff, Daryl Scott. All right, cool. That's why we do this. Some of these are selfish as well, because I'll learn about new people or people I hadn't heard of in a while. All right, the next segment is called "What the Heck," and I'm gonna need I'm gonna need your help with this one. So I have 50 questions here, and they're rapid fire. I'm not asking you 50 questions. Don't worry. You're gonna give me 6 random numbers between 1 and 50, and then I will ask you the questions that correspond with those numbers.
Okay. 2.
Okay.
7.
All right.
33.
All right.
41.
And 2 more.
And 44 and 45.
All right, so this is What the Heck, and the way this works is just tell me the first thing that pops into your head. No filters here, all right?
All right, man.
All right, number 1, over or under on the toilet paper roll?
Over.
Okay, number 2, how violently do you have to fight the urge to scream when you hear an ice cream truck in your neighborhood?
Never, because there's never any ice cream trucks in our neighborhood.
So the point would be, though, if you heard one, you'd probably scream pretty violently because it's never happened, right?
Oh, probably so. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I definitely.
All right,
would.
number 3, you can listen to one artist for the rest of your life, but once you pick this one artist, no other artists exist. Who is it?
Man, that's tough. Let's. I'm gonna go with Guy Clark.
All right, number 4, what's your best joke?
Best joke. Oh man, why did I pick this number? I feel like I'm so bad. I had to pass on this one because I would have to think.
All right.
It would, if I tried to come up with something, it would not be good at
All right,
all.
number 5, which celebrity annoys you the most, and it cannot be politically based?
Celebrity. Man, what's yours? Do you have one? Or can you not answer?
No, mine would probably be like Gilbert Gottfried, just because of his voice. Like,
Well,
drives me
yeah.
crazy, man.
Dang. I really, I really don't get annoyed very easily,
Okay.
and so, uh,
So you
man, I
don't
know
ever
this.
see like somebody famous and just roll your eyes at them.
No.
All right. Last question on this one is, what is no big deal for most people but torture to you?
Torture to me. Hmm.
So for me, like, it would
Um,
be somebody rubbing styrofoam. Oh, it drives me crazy. But like for most people, it's no
okay.
big deal.
Yeah, maybe like I guess I can think more of what my wife thinks is torture to her. Sometimes sometimes like when I eat, I guess I hit the fork on my teeth. She hates that.
So that's called deflection. So for
Yeah.
my wife hates when I leave the windshield wipers on when the rain has stopped.
Oh, really?
Absolutely
See?
hates it. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god, the looks I will get. All right, so that was What the Heck with Zach Maberry. All right, next segment is called One Artist. Who is one artist you wish the entire world knew about?
Just one?
Yep, just one.
Just one. I feel like I mean I have multiple friends that I would probably say for this one. I'm gonna say my buddy David Percy.
Okay.
I met him at LJT. He was one of the other um, finalists in that. Super nice guy, just a good dude, and he's an amazing songwriter. And he really hasn't put out anything at all, but he writes amazing songs. He has kind of like a Radney Foster type
Mm, nice.
feel,
Yeah.
and a great voice, great writer, and he's about to record a full album,
Mm.
and so I'd say probably say David.
Is that Percy?
Percy. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, cool. All right, next segment is called Wish List. This is goal oriented. What is on Zach Maberry's wish list? Just a goal or goals that you would like to try to accomplish. Whether it's somebody to co-write with that you've always wanted to co-write with, or open for, or a venue you've never played. Just something you wish you could do, or some
Yeah.
things you wish you could do.
What was I going to put down? I have a goals list that I have somewhere. One of them was play at Green Hall, and
Nice.
I'm actually going to be playing there coming up. I think it's in November.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm going to be playing there with my buddy David Percy, and my friend Kyle Cooley. And so we're going to be playing there. Let me get the date on that, Chris. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
November 9th is when we'll be there at Green Hall. So that was one of my goals, was to play that venue, because I've grown up going to Green
Yeah.
for years. I mean, it's kind of one of those iconic uh, music places. It's
Haven't
kind of
been there yet. It's on my wish list as well.
you
So
need to. You need
yeah,
to. It's a
for
cool.
sure.
It's a very cool town too.
Yeah. All right. So next segment is called Personal Best, and I always love doing this one because again, we talk to all different artists, all different songwriters. I always love to hear what an artist or songwriter's personal best accomplishment is to them, not from the people on the outside like me who might be a fan of yours. For example, like my opinion might be that you're about to play Green Hall. That might be your personal best accomplishment from my standpoint. But for you, what do you think is your personal best accomplishment? And this doesn't have to be music related either.
Uh, I think, I think with music, I think that my like a highlight of my career so far is a show that you I think you missed it, because I think we talked about this, was at the Bowery stage, which is at the Winsboro Center for the Arts, and I got to open up for Walt Wilkins.
Yeah, he's gonna make me cry
And so
again. Thanks a lot, Zach.
he's he's been he's been like a songwriting hero for years of my life. He used to write songs. He used to play in Pat Green's band. and he wrote songs for Pat. I remember one of the first songs I heard him of his was a song called Ruby's Two Sad Daughters.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever heard that one, amazing song. But yeah, so my buddy Kevin Tenney is the guy who just curates all the artists that come in there, and he invited me to come open that show. And I think it was a sold out night, and it was just it was a perfect night. And one of those nights where it makes you realize, okay, this is what doing music is about.
Yeah, and Kevin, if you're watching, could we
steadily.
rebook Walt, please, and that way so I can not miss it this time? That'd be cool.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah.
Please.
He's great.
So Walt has been on my personal interview wish list since 2017.
Oh wow, yeah.
He doesn't do many interviews, so like, man, that would just be killer.
If I knew him really well, I'd shoot him a text or something.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. That usually is not a very good way to reach out anyway. Like they frown upon that, calling in favors or whatever. Man, it never looks good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that though. All right, so the next segment I have is a new one that I'm going to try out. This is called Moment of Gravity. Was there a moment or person that changed your life forever when it comes to music? Like just a moment that changed your trajectory, or a person that really kind of puts you on the right path when it comes to music, a mentor, so to speak?
I mean, I have to go back to, again, just that my dad started me on the path of it, just started me learning to play. Because I mean, if it wouldn't have been for him, then I wouldn't have been where I'm at today. I wouldn't have been writing songs. I wouldn't have learned how to play guitar. I wouldn't have had so many great experiences playing with other people, and making income through music, which is, at one point in my life, I didn't even think that was a thing. And then I found out, okay, you can do this and make income from it as well. And so it's just, it's amazing what one person can do in your life and really set you on a trajectory to just take it to whatever level you want to take it to.
It's that old Martin over your left shoulder, right? That old Martin.
Yeah. Yep. There it is, right there.
Yep. So yeah, that's why I wanted to put that segment in here, for that very reason. Like, I feel like there's almost always going to be a moment in time, or a person, or something like that, or even an object like the guitar behind you that may have just changed everything for somebody. You know what I mean? I always think that would be cool. All right, the last segment I have for you is called "Who Do You Think You Are?" Who is Zach Maberry?
Who am I? I am a husband. I am a songwriter. I am a
Good for you putting husband first, by the way. Well done. Well done.
I'm someone that loves the Lord. I'm someone that just loves to see other people share their gifts. I definitely just think I'm someone that tries to encourage people in that. And so I think that might be a little bit of who I am.
Nice. Very good answer. All right, so 2025 just started. I guess we're 3 months or 4 months in now, but what's on the horizon for you, and does that include new music?
New music? I think so. Yeah, I think that I'm at a point where I have a lot of songs, and so there's and I can definitely see like another album happening, and I already have an idea of like who I want to work with on that, and it takes me a long time to put music. I mean, it's not cheap, it's not a cheap thing to do. But I think I've been writing songs a lot, and I feel like you have to get to the point where you have a certain group of songs that just need to be heard. And I think I definitely have a few that I feel like are that way. I'd like to write a couple more to have like a really solid second full length album, but I can see it coming up sometime in the near future.
Well,
for sure.
just so we're clear, my favorite song is "I'm Yours, Marie." That's not out yet, and my wife's favorite is "Time Bomb." So just make sure both
Okay.
of those are on the new record.
Yeah. Yeah, I love both those songs.
Yeah, they're great songs, great songs. So, guys, it's Zach Maberry. If you want to know more about Zach, you can check out his website. The website is zachmaberry.com. There's only one Y in Mayberry, guys, and it's not in the middle of the word. It's at the end. So it's ZachMaberry.com. His social medias you can find everywhere at Zach Maberry Music. And you can also get linked all to that stuff through the website as well. What is the best way for people to support you other than what I just mentioned? Probably coming to shows, right?
Yeah. I mean, I try to post everything I have on either website or Facebook. Probably website is or Bands in Town. If you ever use Bands in Town, I put stuff on there too. And come to shows. I'll have merch out for sale too.
Mhm.
And really, that's the main thing. And also just sharing the music.
Yeah, share. It's free to do it, man. You guys engage. So important to engage on stuff. You see it, if you're a fan, share it. One thing I like to do, which is also very free, by the way, you can go to Spotify or YouTube or places like that and just loop the record over and over again. They have those loop buttons there for a reason, and those loop buttons are huge for an artist. Remember, they're getting, percentages of a penny per stream. So loop that bad boy. And if you've got extra devices that you're not using, like I have a PC in my building here I don't use, so I just loop my favorite music on that. I don't hear the music, it just plays forever. And that's a good way to support your favorite artists, beyond just sharing, liking, commenting, all of those things. Zach, thank you so much for taking some time with me today, man.
Dude, thanks for having me. It was really great.
Hey everybody, it's me, Jarrett, from your favorite band, Bowling for Soup. Thank you for tuning in to the Boston Chris podcast.